Good afternoon, members. We have an apology from David Michael Veen. Stephen Moutry may or may not join us. He has pressing matters this afternoon. You'll be aware Michael Copeland has joined the committee in place of Roy Beggs. Michael, I'm afraid, is unable to join us today, so we record his apologies as well, but I do look forward to welcoming him to a future meeting. At page 98, members, you'll find correspondence from the Community Relations Council. They'd like an opportunity to present to the committee on behalf of the Common Platform. That's a group of organisations with an interest in the draft racial equality strategy. We had previously agreed that we'd take a briefing from the Northern Ireland Council for Ethnic Minorities for NISEM. NISEM are actually a contributor to the Common Platform, so if members are content, what we might suggest is that NISEM are part of the Common Platform delegation, so that we get the two in one.
As long as they're informed, that would be okay, because we did turn them down before, so.
Yeah, but we have agreed to see them, but I think that's the most efficient way. This platform has about 20 members. Yeah. So you would set a precedent which potentially would slow us down a little bit in consideration. So as long, I think they'll be content, and if there's any issue, we'll certainly come back to the committee. Are we content then that happens? Yes, we are. Members, His Excellency Pascal Terratiano is the Italian ambassador to the United Kingdom.
What was that?
I never repeat myself. Terratiano. He's here on Monday. It's his first visit to the Assembly since he was appointed last year. It also marks the Italian presidency of the Council of the European Union. So there's an informal briefing on Monday morning at 11:30 in room 21. There are background papers on page 23 of table papers. Two questions, members. Could you first of all indicate to committee staff if you would like to attend the informal meeting with His Excellency? And secondly, would you be content if we invite the chairs of the other statutory committees, given that European affairs spread across the full range of our activities?
It's a very bad time. There's a lot of meetings going on. You know,
Do you tell them?
No, I'm only just saying to you, don't turn up. You know,
I think it's a good idea to spread it out, even for that reason, as it's, you know, it's going to be a difficult one for people to make, but there we are. A copy of the committee's current invitations can be found page 99. In the absence of comment on those, can I ask you if you're content with the draft minutes of our meeting of the 8th of October, which begin at page 101 in your pack? Are we content to agree? Mm-hmm. Thank you. The matters arising then, on page 108, we've got a list of all the written submissions to our inquiry into building a united community. The deadline was noon last Friday. And in fact, it's actually been superseded by the paper in table packs at page 32. We've had responses from over 60 organisations, and they represent a rather pleasingly wide range of sectors. So committee staff are going to prepare an inquiry plan for our consideration next week. That'll be based on submissions I've received. Next week we are also due to receive an update on the TBUG strategy from our officials from the department. Any comments, members? Okay. We also made a decision previously to forward any education-related responses to the Committee for Education in light of its inquiry into shared and integrated education. So, in keeping with that commitment, I propose that we send the submissions from early years, Foyle Trust for Integrated Education, Oak Grove Integrated College and Speedwell Trust to the Committee for Education, if you are content. Okay. Page 111 is the list of outstanding correspondence. In the absence of comments, with one item of correspondence at page 114 of your meeting packs I'd like to draw to your attention. It's from the Committee for Finance and Personnel. It outlines the terms of reference for its review of the operation of the Barnett formula, which will inform the Department of Finance and Personnel and the wider executive in terms of any future developments in relation to the devolution arrangements for Northern Ireland, and also make a contribution to the wider UK debate in this regard. Any comments on that one, members? If not, we move on to item 8, which is children and young people, and our research briefing on child poverty strategies around the UK. During the briefing on the outcome of the Delivering Social Change for Children and Young People in September, officials advised us that it had been decided to lay a separate child poverty strategy covering 2014 to 17 as required by the Child Poverty Act 2010. Officials were due to brief us on a draft child poverty strategy today, but we had also asked Assembly Research to provide us with information on the child poverty strategies for England, Wales and Scotland, and include some information on projected levels of absolute and relative poverty by 2020, which is the big target date. So the research papers, members, are on in your table packs, or sorry, not your table packs, your packs from page 118. We can ask the research to the table, or are we content to note this this report, which I think is very, very helpful. And very detailed, gives us good comparators with England, Wales, Scotland. Some points, members, that struck me. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation have been looking at how we do business, finding our approach to be distinctive among the devolved nations because of our emphasis on intergenerational cycles of poverty and references to families with young mothers as factors sustaining poverty, but we do not, according to Joseph Rowntree, offer a clear evidence base to back this focus. So there's some complementary stuff and some constructive criticism within it. You'd also note, I think on page 7, the Children's Commissioner expressing concern about delivering social change for children and young people, saying that this simply tweaks the 10-year strategy and merges it with the child poverty strategy. Doing so has resulted in a document which is neither an improvement on the children's strategy nor meets the requirements of the Child Poverty Act. She also complains it was done without any engagement with my office, with civil society or with children, young people or their parents.
I suppose, Chair, do we know if she has been consulted on the new strategy for 2014-17?
I think she has, because last time officials were in, if you remember, there had been an issue about the lack of consultation, and that was specifically with going out to consult on the strategy. But then the next time we spoke to them, I got the impression they had certainly been better contact with, but I couldn't stand over the detail.
We can ask and see.
So it's probably worth asking, Brenda. I think the engagement has improved, but I couldn't tell you about the agenda items.
And the depth of engagement.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else members want to raise in terms of the briefing paper? If not, we'll record our thanks to Jane Campbell for putting it together and making herself available today. So we were due to receive that briefing, but the department wrote yesterday afternoon to say the draft document is still under consideration by ministers. Officials are therefore not in a position to brief today, and that's page 37 of your tabled packs. All I would add, members, is, as I was saying earlier on, the new figures published today by the End Child Poverty campaign, a UK-wide body, they today excuse me, have been mapping levels of child poverty across the UK, and their conclusion is that it is increasingly unlikely that the UK government will meet its aim of tackling child poverty by 2020. And in the absence of any further comment, members, could I suggest that we forward Jane's research paper to the department for comment, together with perhaps this End Child Poverty research, and ask the department for comment on particularly how the strategy is going to ensure that levels of child poverty projected for Northern Ireland are are going to be dealt with, because there seems to be strong research that says we, like the rest of the UK, will not meet the 2020 targets. And of course the other part of it is what Mr Atwood was suggesting earlier on, that we asked some questions about the failure to produce a draft for today's meeting. Which just leaves members a couple of other things. The forward.
Just briefly, is it worth, if there isn't a fairly prompt visit to the committee on those types of issues, and the committee raising some sort of motion at the Assembly to at least have some public airing and discussion of the issues?
Members?
A bit early to determine that.
Sorry?
Sorry, I think it's a bit early to determine that.
I think it's possibly more of a party political at this stage, Chris.
Let's see where we are next week and then make a judgment on it, I think. But
You're anticipating a response by next week?
let's make a judgment on next week.
Okay, draft forward work programme, members, page 143. In the absence of comment, I'll assume you're content and open the floor to any other business. In the absence of which, the next meeting is Wednesday the 22nd, 2 p.m. Here in room 30. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
30.